Remco Evenepoel is one of the biggest names in the sport of cycling, and his stock in the sport grew even more in the Paris Olympics, becoming the first rider to win the gold in both the time trial and the road race in an emphatic style. But does this mean that Remco Evenepoel is living up to that tag that he got of being a young cannibal? Before we start today's video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel here on the Cycling Dane as well. But without further ado, let's get into it. Remco Evenepoel burst onto the scenes early on in his career, winning the road race and the time trial in an impressive fashion at the Junior World Championships in Innsbruck in 2018. And since then, he's been with the Belgian outfit Soudal Quickstep and has well and truly achieved great things, winning a multitude of stage races and one-day races, and even having success in the Grand Tours, and has used his distinct aerodynamic position and time trialing engine to win plenty of races already. But how does the young Remco Evenepoel compare to the great Eddy Merckx, who he was compared to very early on in his career? And for some riders, getting the tag of the next Eddy Merckx can be a death stroke to their career, as enormous expectations are placed on them. Eddy Merckx, of course, was an absolutely incredible monster in terms of the Grand Tours, and Remco Evenepoel has already featured in a number of Grand Tours. A young Remco Evenepoel was under a lot of scrutiny in his first ever Grand Tour, which came in 2021 at the Giro d'Italia, which was after his Il Lombardia crash in 2020, and he made an incredible recovery just to be at the start line of the race. Remco was in the mix early on, but it seemed like he was missing the upper echelon of his ability, and the lack of racing beforehand certainly affected him quite a lot, and ultimately had to abandon. His second Grand Tour, however, a year later in the Vuelta a España, was much more fruitful, winning the race outright at an age of 22 years and 229 days, becoming the first Belgian to win a Grand Tour in 44 years. And compared to the Merckx, at this point, these two are very close, as Merckx didn't win his first Grand Tour either. That win came in his second Grand Tour at the Giro d'Italia in 1968, when Merckx was slightly older at 22 years and 361 days. And similar to Remco, Merckx only had one Vuelta a España win in his career, so maybe Remco can beat that record for Merckx. Remco faced bad luck in the 2023 season, but demonstrated his perseverance as a champion. At the Giro d'Italia, he started strong, winning the opening time trial and a second time trial as well in the race, before he had to withdraw with illness. In the Vuelta a España, he couldn't quite keep up with the pace of the leaders, but instead of withdrawing, shifted his focus to stage hunting and securing 3 stage wins throughout the race, and even the Mountains jersey, quite emphatic to say the least. And in 2024 came the long-awaited Tour de France debut for the young Belgian, debuting at 24 years and 156 days. He managed to win the first time trial stage and finished third on the podium as well, behind the two juggernauts of Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogačar, winning the white jersey in the process. Merckx debuted the Tour de France in 1969 at 24 years and managed to dominate the race, becoming the only rider in history winning all the available classifications and taking 6 stage wins along the way. And in total, Eddy Merckx has won 11 Grand Tours, so Remco Evenepoel has a bit of catching up to do if he's going to be able to rival him on this front. The Monuments is also another big accolade in the sport, and this is where Eddy Merckx really stamped his authority on the world of cycling, with 19 wins across the 5 Monuments, and also being one of the only riders to win all 5 in his career. Remco Evenepoel so far has not taken part in all 5 Monuments, only having ventured into Il Lombardia and Liège-Bastogne-Liège. But at Liège-Bastogne-Liège, he has shown some incredible form, winning back-to-back editions in 2022 and 2023, even as the world champion. And we are sure that he's going to be doing more of Liège-Bastogne-Liège in the future. Eddy Merckx, on the other hand, holds the record for the most wins at Liège-Bastogne-Liège, but did not win until his 3rd attempt of the race. So this could be a record where Remco Evenepoel could be challenging for that record outright by the time he finishes his career. But equally, there is a Tadej Pogačar in there as well, so either of these could be up there. Remco Evenepoel is yet to take part in the other Monuments, the cobble ones, or even Milan-San Remo, but there are rumors that the Belgian star will venture into these races in 2025. At the World Championships and the Olympics, Remco Evenepoel has a bit of an upper hand at the same age as Eddy Merckx. They were both world champions at a similar time, but Remco Evenepoel, of course, also has been a world champion in the time trial, which is something that was not available to Merckx in his time. Merckx's record at the Worlds is impressive, with 3 victories in total to his name. And this is something that could happen for Remco Evenepoel as well when we look at the courses in the near future. At the Olympics, Remco Evenepoel became the first ever rider, as we said, to win the time trial and the road race gold outright, a feat that far surpasses Merckx's achievements at the Olympics, who has never won a medal. However, there was a difference that no professional athlete were able to attend the road race in his time. Remco Evenepoel demonstrated his remarkable prowess in the stage races as well so far in his career, achieving significant victories across various races. His accomplishments began with a stage race win in the Tour of Belgium, his home race in 2019, and in 2020 he had an outstanding year, securing victories early on in the Vuelta a San Juan, then going on to win the Vuelta al Garve, first World Tour race, the Tour of Poland, and then going on to win the Vuelta a Burgos. He continued this success the following year after his recovery from the Il Lombardia crash, where he managed to win the Tour of Belgium again, and also adding the Tour of Denmark, where he even managed to overtake the Gruppetto on one stage. In 2022, Evenepoel triumphed in both the Tour of Norway and the Algarve race again, and his impressive run in that race even extended to 2024. But he also won another World Tour race in the UAE Tour as well. These achievements really highlight Evenepoel's exceptional skill in these one-week stage races and really solidifies his capability as a rider to finish off these races. Remco Evenepoel is an exceptionally talented rider, and his unique riding style and flair for aggressive riding, both on a one-day setting and in the Grand Tours, has elevated him to one of the best riders of his generation, and he can certainly rival Merckx on the same age right now. And in some aspects, he's even achieved better feats than Merckx himself at the same age. For Remco to really have a good comparison with Merckx, it would be interesting to see him do the hour record, something that he's well and truly could be taking outright, and also seeing him at Paris-Roubaix or even Tour of Flanders. He certainly has proved that he has an engine and the bike handling skills to do well on the cobbles, and perhaps he will be able to shock the world, much like Tadej Pogačar did at Tour of Flanders as well. The scary truth here is, despite the hard specialization of modern cycling, there are still riders such as Remco Evenepoel that are able to rival Eddy Merckx on some achievements based on the same age. Remco Evenepoel has a lot of rivals in this era, such as Tadej Pogačar, Mathieu van der Poel, Wout van Aert, but he could potentially be able to rival Eddy Merckx by the time he hangs up his wheels. Currently, Remco Evenepoel has 58 victories to his name. That is around 10% of Eddy Merckx's final haul of 525. But who knows if he'll be able to rival anything like that. It certainly looks like he will be heading for more than 100 victories by the time he retires, but only time will tell. Anyways, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel here on The Cycling Dane, and why not check out our video about the scary truth of Tadej Pogačar. But with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.